Idiot. As you can see, or as you saw, fucking construction next door, man, shut up. Anyway, jack the front of your car up first, because when you jack the back up like an idiot, you can't freaking get the jack under the front. Anyway, finally, today, we're doing diff things. I've been talking about it for ages. I've been away, so we haven't made much progress on the old girl, but we're back. So, we got bushes from Whiteline, all diff bushes. Gotta work them out. We got seals, we got 2 axle seals, and the main tail shaft seal, or whatever that's called. Gear oil, and we've also got some oil to do the transmission. While the car's in the sky, do the gearbox and the transfer case oil, because transfer case is the same as the diff. Ideal. I don't know how to do any of this. I've never touched a diff before in my entire life. I have no idea how hard they're going to be. The bolts could be seized. The bushes, I don't have a press, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get them out, but we're going to work it out. Let's get it. Shout out to Meek for sending the seals out, Whiteline for the bushes obviously, and RP Motorsports for shipping the oils like they arrived less than 24 hours after I ordered them. That's hot. Thank you. I'll link them below if I remember. If I don't, too bad. But Google it. There's music next door, so hopefully YouTube doesn't copyright me. But we're replacing these bushes here, which are in the moustache spot. So that bush looks like it's rooted. You see that bit of bush just sticking out there? That's not good. There's carrier bushings up in there somewhere. I don't know where. And then obviously the seals. So this is leaking. Honestly, I don't really know where it's leaking. So we're gonna have to pull the exhaust off, which is probably still hot because I just drove it. First things first will be to drain the diff, which, let me see if I can get under there. I don't know where the bolts are. That's the drain. I don't know where the fill is. I gotta find it. Let's investigate. It's the next day. Unfortunately, the builders decided to play really loud music, and YouTube doesn't like that. So we had to can it yesterday. But anyway, we're back. So I just tested my AY Safe fluid, had a little look, and it's quite pink. Looks good. Doesn't look dirty, so I'm gonna try and not change that if I can. So I'm gonna leave that. And have a look under here. That is the drain bolt for the AYC clutch bath. We are going to change that. That is the drain bolt for the diff oil. We are going to drain that. These 2 high pressure lines here run up to the ACD pump, or the AYC pump, or whatever it is in there. So originally my plan was to drop this whole thing, pull the whole diff out, do everything. But I don't want to do that now, is because then we will have to bleed these. And while I do have Evo scan, and I believe you can do it through that, it just kind of looks like a pain in the ass because there's those friggin' nipples up there we got to do stuff with and whatever. It's going to be a headache, so I don't want to do that. So now I'm going to try and just drain these 2 fluids, somehow get the axles out and change the axle seals. And like, there's no clear indication that these axle seals are leaking, so honestly, if I can leave them in and not have to pull the whole thing, that would be ideal. Then we can just try and do the bushes. So there should be carriers both sides, plus obviously the moustache bar bushes, which are these ones in there. It's going to be a good challenge for me. I'm excited. So let's get into it. I don't know how I'm going to film it, but we'll do what we can. Man, bro, I need new tires. I'm also pulling the wheels off because it'll be lighter down here, so it might be easier to move some stuff around. Plus I need to adjust the coils a bit because they do rub, so I'm going to try lifting it up 10 mil, seeing if that helps. Man, it is crusty back here. Damn, look how gross this shit is. Also, these coil levers look really funny with this whole getup. MCA blues. Is it meant to look like that? I don't know. Probably. Just looks funny in my brain. Okay, I'm officially confused because that is one of the bushings I was planning on changing there and there. And I was under the impression that this thing was like a little thing that bolted onto the side of the diff, but it seems to be a hanger that goes over the top of it. So that's one whole piece, I think, from there over to the other side. And there's 2 friggin' bolts for the gear oil. Are they both fill? They have to be. But why is there two? I don't understand. I'm confused. Because now I feel like I have to drop the diff to get that bar out. Plus the moustache bar, which is friggin' somewhere up in there. That thing all the way up in there, which you can't really see. And I still can't work out where the damn oil's coming from, because it's mostly around the drain hole. So I'm just really confused. I don't like being confused, and there's not a lot of room under here. What the hell, why is it not like anything else anyone ever has? I guess the 9s are different to the 8s. I guess. So maybe this thing's leaking out of this plate. Interesting. The current theory is, because it seems to be leaking from this plate, which I'm going to assume is an inspection plate. I don't really know, but that's what I'm assuming. It seems like it's leaking from there, and like a few places, like it's quite wet everywhere. So I'm thinking maybe it's overfilled, which would be unfortunate. So I have just managed to loosen the fill bolt. I don't know why there's stampings on the diff that says fill bolt here and here, but I believe it is this one. So I just managed to loosen that. It was very tight. I had to undo this carrier bolt to try and get a socket on there. So it seems like I'm going to have to pull the whole thing, which I didn't really want to do, because I'm guessing we're going to have to lower the subframe, this thing, try and get the moustache bar, and then the other bar that's holding these in out. So which means we're going to have to, I guess we're going to have to undo these that lead to the AYC pump, because we're going to have to undo everything if we're going to drop the whole thing, I guess. I don't really know. I'm just going to see how much oil's in it and go from there. No oil came out, so it wasn't overfilled, but man, look at the sludge on it. How gross that is. That's black AF. See if we can drain it. It's going to be interesting how much is in this and what it looks like. Doesn't look too bad actually, to be honest. Not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. I'll just pull this fill bolt out. Here we go. Man, that smells terrible. I've heard that this stuff smells pretty bad. I'm using a measuring container. I'll try and see how much is in there because I'm curious. I mean, it's slowing down and it's up to 200 mils. It's meant to be 600, so that's pretty cool. 400 mil low. That's terrible. Well, there goes my overfilled theory out the window. She's got, oh, what are we up to? 230 mils of diff oil. That's meant to be 600. That's meant to be 600, so that's obviously not great. Given that the design isn't what I'm expecting, I assume we're gonna have to drop the whole diff, so it's gonna be a fair bit of work in this. Probably gonna take me a few days, because I don't know what I'm doing. I guess we'll drain the clutch pack next, which will be the red transmission fluid. And then we might look at either disconnecting the ACD lines and what's involved with that, because I know that is a pressurized system, I think. So we got to do that, or we got to start look at disconnecting all the suspension parts so we can drop the whole thing, so we can get those two, the mustache bar and that other carrier bar holder thing out. Try and get them out. The exhaust probably gonna have to come off, which I already started, but then it was being a pain, so I got the shits and gave up on it. So I'm gonna have to do that. So I got a lot to do. I probably have to disconnect the drive shaft, or tail shaft, whatever you call it. So I'm just gonna get back into it. I'll give you an update when I figure something out. SusEvo strikes again. I finally got the ATF SP3, whatever. What I think is the clutch bath fill plug out. and it pissed oil out of it, and it looks black to me. Like that looks like diff oil, not auto transmission fluid, like red. Like that should be red. It's black. So either it hasn't been changed in so long that the red has turned to black, which is obviously terrible, or some idiot's gonna put diff oil in it. I don't know, like, wait for the truck. I don't know what the repercussions would be if it is like LSD diff oil instead of this shit, automatic transmission fluid. I don't know what like damage that could have caused, or like I said, that red stuff is just so old that it's black, like it's never ever been done. And it was overfilled because it came out the fill plug, like a heap of it, like so much. So now we've got to pull the drain plug and see what happens, and I'm like not thrilled. But what do you do? See what it says just there? Whoa. ATF SP3 only. That looks like diff oil, smells like diff oil, is diff oil. Whack. Let's pull this, which should be the clutch bath drain, I believe. See what comes out of there. So I don't know how much fluid's actually meant to go in this part. I think it's 600 mil ish as well. So I'm thinking maybe it was leaking out of this plate thing because it was overfilled. So my plan is drop this, see how much fluid's in there, possibly pull this off and see what's behind it, and then maybe try and reseal it. That's the plan. So let's drop that and see what happens. You can see that there's definitely a bit of focus. There's definitely a bit of metal on the end of that. That looks like magnetic to me. Probably because it's the wrong fucking oil. Wrong fluid. Ugh. Why do people do this? There's actually quite a bit of metal on there. I assume that's from the clutch packs or whatever, however it works, I don't really understand. Probably because, you know, once it gets hot it's all wrong and stuff. That's infuriating. Why don't people just read the shit right? It's like, it's not that difficult. There's literally an arrow that says ATF SP3 only, which is red. And this is brown. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong. It'll be interesting to see how much fluid it is. It's definitely more than the 200 ml that was in the diff oil. 240 ml I think we ended up having once it fully drained. I'm gonna leave it there for now. I'm gonna leave that open overnight. Try and let as much of that fluid drain out as I can. Then obviously we're gonna have to flush it with some of this stuff, which is actually red, like it should be. But we'll probably use the little easy squeeze bag because it's gonna be a lot easier to get that up in there because the fill plug is a freaking nightmare to get to. All right, if you know anything about Evos, is there a reason why you would put diff oil like LSD 90, like Diaqueen, like this stuff in the clutch bath? Is that a thing that I don't know about? From what I can tell, it's not a thing. Whoever serviced this last was a freaking idiot. But if you know anything about it, let me know. Obviously if it's better for some reason we'll do that, but I'm pretty sure it's just rooted. So SusEvo continues on, just living up to his name. We love it. Fixing one thing at a time. Hopefully there's obviously no major damage in there. Like there obviously was quite a bit of metal on that magnet. At least there is a magnet, that's good. But we'll get it sorted. I mean, if it explodes, it explodes, but it hasn't yet, and it's obviously had that fluid in it for ages, so hopefully it's not a massive deal. I'm out. In the next video, hopefully we can try and get the whole diff out and work those bushes out. It's a slow process because I have no clue what I'm doing, so it'll probably take me a few videos to get it done, but we'll get there in the end. It's all a process. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want. We're back.